Okay, so remember how Apple is always so adamant about your right to privacy and also protecting that right? Well, Apple has made some major changes at the core of that privacy issue, and the tagline here is, it is for the purpose of expanding protections for children. Just as an FYI, this is a controversial topic, so I do guarantee you that there are going to be at least two different sides. So I'm pretty sure there are going to be at least two different sides, or multiple takes on this. And with that in mind, let's not make it political. Let's keep it as apolitical as we are accustomed to doing on this tech channel here. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Child sexual abuse material, or CSAM, as tagged by Apple, will have three parts. One of them, which I as a parent, and I'm sure many of you will agree, is a fantastic idea, but essentially that option is where you get notified if your child is either receiving or sending, naked pictures or sexually explicit images or things of that nature. So definitely no issues there. Again, most parents, if not all, will agree to the sound of that. And the second one kind of touches up on Siri, and that would be where if you are searching through your device for images that depict child exploitation, you'll get a pop-up message warning you about the consequences, attached to being involved with anything of that nature. Then, of course, there's the last part, which is the big one. Now, I'm not going to go back through every single criminal case where, authorities were having a very hard time accessing iPhones, or in many cases were simply unable to access iPhones of people who were suspected of crimes. But I do want to at least point you back to the 2015 San Bernardino attack and the ongoing FBI Apple encryption dispute issue. This has made iPhone owners feel like their privacy was really taken at hand, very well protected with Apple. But now there will be scanning through your device as part of this CSAM effort, just to make sure that you don't have any pictures that can be deemed suspicious, or pictures that may involve a type of child abuse or child exploitation, which, if found, they would lock your device, then forward that information over to the authorities. And of course, this sounds very simple as heck yeah, let's go ahead and get this done. But this is actually a very, very complicated issue. It goes beyond just, catching these horrible people. Again, I, as a parent, completely understand. We do want to put away these horrible people who commit these acts of, child exploitation, child abuse. We absolutely must put those people in jail so that they can rot in there, for sure. On the other hand, however, there's a privacy issue. Even here in the US, where you have a lot of people who are very vocal about protecting just your right to privacy, you also do have other people who are willing to give up those rights, just as long as it's for the greater good, right? As long as it's to go out there and catch these criminals. So you have people, a good example is when this came out, right? So when it came out, you had people saying, hey, I don't have anything to hide, right? I don't have anything to hide. I'm not a criminal. If, you can go ahead and go through my phone and check if you can do this and catch some criminals, go ahead and scan away. You had people, that was their automatic first reaction. Then you had other people who were like, well, you know what? I do get that we need to catch these people, but at what cost? Because again, the problem doesn't lie there. It doesn't lie to whether we should catch criminals or not, or these horrible people who abuse children or not. There needs to be some type of boundaries, because you have to keep in mind that we are dealing with a corporation, right? So there needs to be some type of oversight committee, that can kind of overlook what corporations do and hold them accountable when need be. And of course, as you would imagine, I'm not saying that we shouldn't do this. I'm saying that there should be some type of safeguards put in place, to protect the fundamental parts of that right to privacy. And this is because if there isn't any type of, oversight or safeguards to protect kind of the fundamental parts of just your right to privacy, it kind of sets a dangerous, precedent. Because if you that would mean that we might end up with something like the Patriot Act, if you are familiar with that. So, right, we start with, just for the greater good, right? But then the next time we make, a little bit of adjustment, then something else, until that right is completely gone, right? So today we're scanning your device. Maybe next time, in order to catch even more, let's go ahead and scan your text, maybe your phone calls, maybe, so this might circle back into something like the Patriot Act, which becomes a little bit dangerous. Now, I don't know whether you agree or disagree, and of course, I would love to have this serious conversation with you all in the comment section to see where you stand with something like this. If you care, if you don't care, if you agree, you disagree, I would love to get that back and forth going with you down in the comment section. But anyway, so this is all happening now and happening kind of fast too, if you think about it. I mean, I know they've been working on it for a while and they'll be deploying this thing in the fall. You do have the option, right? You know, someone might say, hey, if you don't like it, just buy a different phone, you know, buy a phone that is non-Apple, or buy a tablet that is non-Apple, because they will be doing this, I believe, on multiple, you know, across all of their devices, and they can do that. And also another thing I need to add is this is definitely not new. It's just that, you know, we keep moving the goalposts, right? So they scan when you upload things to the cloud. They do that scanning there already, and I believe other companies do that also. But now they're coming down to your device, so we don't know what's going to be next. And this is kind of ironic because Steve Jobs, one of the founders of Apple himself, the godfather of mobile tech, if we could call him that, himself, kind of sent a warning about the looming threat over our privacy during that very well-known conference, the All Things Digital Conference. And this was back in 2010. And he did then say something that is kind of going along with what's happening now. And here's a quick quote from him. I believe people are smart, and smart people want to share more data than other people do, which is true. It's very true, just like I said earlier, right? So you have people who are willing to give up that right or give up data or whatever you asking, as long as it's for greater good, right? It's a very noble way to approach things, right? It's like, hey, as long as we could get rid of all of these bad things, you know, you could go ahead and do it. But you also do have other people who like, well, I do agree that we need to do that, but where are the boundaries? We need to set some boundaries, some safeguards, just in case, because these are your fundamental rights. But anyway, so he continues, ask them every time. Make them tell you to stop asking them if they are tired of you asking them. Let them know precisely what you are going to do with their data. Now, that also sounds good, right? But it's just very complicated because it's just not about the knowing. It's about the knowing and about what will happen in the future, right? So just them telling you, listen, we're going to be scanning your phones just to go through all of your pictures, all of your images, just to make sure that everything is good. They're telling you that they're going to do that, right? So fine, okay, you can do that. But next time, they can also come and say, hey, you know what? We're just going to go through all your texts. We're just going to go through everything, you know, everything that you own. We're just going to go through just to make sure that there's nothing bad there. Do you think this is going to be a problem? Does it matter to you? You know, you don't care. You're just going to go with Apple, or you're going to switch to a different provider? Let me know what you think of this issue in the comment section. I would love to chat with you about that. Share this video, of course, so we can really have a true conversation going. As I mentioned, let's stick to the issue. Let's stay very apolitical with this. So that's the video today. Let me catch you in that comment section. And by the way, make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed just yet. I'm going to catch you in that comment section. And up until then, stay safe out there.